against the inferior bantu education system, but more than 40 years on, challenges in terms of access and quality to education remain. Gallery of Academic Leaders, or G.O.A.L, is a non-profit organization managed by young adults who are university students and graduates and formally registered with the Department of Social Development in August 2013. Now, the main aim of G.O.A.L is to enrich young people in the rural or disadvantaged communities through education. Khutso Tjale is the program coordinator at G.O.A.L. He joins us now on the News Today desk. Good afternoon, Khutso. Thank you so much for joining us this Youth Day.
Thank you for having me.
Khutso, just give us an idea of your vision, your goals, and the impact you're making in the education sector right now.
Okay, as G.O.A.L, our vision is to make sure that we get more learners from the rural areas to actually universities, and to get them to fill the gap in the engineering department, mostly industry, and other departments. And that's what we do mostly.
Well, making a lasting impact at a lower cost, I understand, is your mantra almost. Just tell us about the services you have on offer and how do you actually roll out at school level?
Okay, we have different services that we offer. We offer learning and teaching, which is in the form of tutoring, mentoring, motivation. We do career guidance, open days. And in all of those things, we focus mainly on rural areas, and knowing that in the rural areas it's kind of difficult for the learners to have money to pay for those services. We try our best to make sure that they get access to those services at a very low cost. Hence, we give them quality services. Yeah, our main aim is actually give it to them at a very low cost.
Khutso, this academic relationship that you actually form with school learners is carried through to tertiary level. I want to talk about the registration processes at our tertiary institutions. Many of our rural and township learners saying it's far too complex, it's far too expensive, and there's still the problem of access. One example I can make is when it comes to writing motivational letters or even letters of application and so on. Many times our rural or township learners are the most educated in that household at matric level. In your experience, because you're working with learners on an everyday basis, what are your thoughts? Because the system for accessing tertiary education just looks to be essentially designed to the advantage of middle class applicants in mind, and leaving many of our rural and township learners on the back foot.
Yeah, what you're saying is actually what triggered us to start the whole organization, because in the rural areas, it's quite difficult for them to access education. I, for one, went to a rural school. It was quite difficult for me to access information on how to apply. I ended up going to university not knowing that I had to apply on time. I had to have an email in advance, because that's how they communicate to university. So we as G.O.A.L, we take the information back to the rural areas. We have what we call career guidance, which we call open day motivations now and then, to go and help them, give them information on the importance of emails, and assist them on how to apply for universities and the importance of applying early. We give them access to bursaries that are available, and just inform them and let them know how important is it to perform well at high school level for them to get access to universities. So that's what we do.
What's been the response like to these motivational days and open days in the rural areas and in the township areas, Khutso?
So far, we've had quite a good response from secondary, because that's what we usually work with, and high schools. Well, most is because we are from those like the rural schools, and going back to them to give them motivation. They all feel motivated to see that it's possible, knowing that someone who's from the same community as me, it's a civil engineer, it's a chartered accountant, coming back to motivate me. It's quite a big thing. So far, we've seen a great improvement, and yeah, we're happy about that, and we're still going to motivate more learners and touch more ground.
All right, you just listened to the clip we played earlier about this deficit we're seeing in maths and sciences subjects. South Africa, we don't have enough of graduates. We're just not producing enough of graduates in the areas of need, like the engineering fields you've just mentioned. Now, is this just about a lack of information or a lack of access to information about the possibilities and requirements at tertiary level, Khutso? And what help are you providing to students who require that help in the areas of maths and science at this point?
What you're saying is what everyone is saying, and I find it funny because most of the time when we go back to schools, we find that learners they are intelligent. They can crack maths and science like that. They just need a person to change their perspective. That's what we do. We just change their perspective, get them to like maths, science, and other subjects. And so far it has done a good impact. We've seen them perform quite well in the rural areas. We've seen a lot of improvement after we left, after motivation, because we just changed their perspective.
Yes, because the real tragedy lies in the fact that we have so many learners who unwittingly narrow their choices in terms of career.
Yeah, we have them because they're afraid of maths and science. They all go to other careers. So we're trying to change that. And I think changing the perspective to like maths and physics, it's actually opening their mind to just look at everything in a bigger picture, to stop narrowing the choices to something that doesn't have maths and science.
Very quickly, Khutso, we are running out of time. How do you identify schools and learners that are in need, and how do members of the public reach you should they need you?
Okay, we reach schools through circuits. Circuits usually they have their schools, their results, and they tell us that they have this number of schools that are not performing so well. We go and intervene. We go and do winter camps to them, motivations to ensure that those schools improve. And to contact us, they can get us on Facebook. It's Gallery of Academic Leaders. And on Twitter, it's @GoalLeaders with 1 L. And yeah, they can contact me also on, I don't know if I can give my phone number.
No, go ahead, you can give it.
On 079 7476 301. That's where they will find me. Then yeah, that's where we can talk.
This is an expensive operation that you're running. What do you need in terms of funding, resources, etc.?
Okay, G.O.A.L has been running for more than 4 years, running camps which have a massive budget requirement. Well, we've been running on donations from members and donations from ourselves, but at the moment we're looking at the government and the people out there who are willing to be sponsors to sponsor our program to ensure that we touch more grounds, because at the moment we're running without sponsor. We've been running for 4 years depending on members' donations, and at the moment, because we're growing too much, it's starting to be more expensive to carry out the programs and touch more learners. So we need sponsors to make sure that we touch more ground.
Khutso Tjale, thank you for your time on the SABC News Desk. He's the program coordinator at Gallery of Academic Leaders, of course, doing some sterling work. Congratulations on that, and continue with this good work. Moving on to other news now.